where comics shine and their stories glow. Hit that like and subscribe below to Johnny's comic stuff. Let the fandom grow. Let the fandom grow.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
What is happening? I'm going to do it live, guys. I'm going to write it. I'm going to do it live, just like Bill O'Reilly says. So, been a crazy couple weeks, so content's been off a little bit, not intentional. Summertime usually gets a little hectic. So if you regularly watch my stuff, I apologize. I haven't been pushing it out there. I got a whole bunch of stuff back here. I haven't even opened. I've just been waiting till I had some time. So we're going to go through this stuff. I got a Heritage auction win and 2 CGC submissions that came in. So I'm going to go through it. Again, still got the giveaway 3,000 subscribers for Incredible Hulk 181. If you're watching this in the rewind, just leave a comment. You're entered to win. Just be a subscriber, leave a comment. This next Sunday, I'm going to be doing a cleaning show. And then I'm going to be out of town the following 2 Sundays, so no cleaning shows. The 6th and I think the 13th. But we'll be cleaning this coming Sunday, so check that out every Sunday. I try to go. I didn't go last week because Heroes Con was going on. A lot of people were tied up out there. And then I'm probably going to do a little bit more like this as stuff comes in, do lives, usually between 4 and 5 o'clock Central Time. So whatever time this is now, this is kind of be the time I'll be doing it. So let's get into this. The first one up, I opened the box, but I didn't go through the package. Hopefully they're not damaged. This is a Heritage auction win. This is actually 2 Golden Age books. Like I always say, I got a really good deal on these. They were very well priced. The other 75 auctions I didn't win went above what I was hoping to spend on them. So we got 2 Captain Marvel books. First one up. This is Captain Marvel number 47. They're calling this a VG. I'm going to say that's better than a VG. It does have a really bad spine roll, which will press out well. It's got a little tear in it, but, early Captain Marvel, Golden Age stuff there. So pretty cool book. There's a little bit of tears on. There's like 2 or 3 pages on the inside had tears, had notes on it. But again, they're saying this is a VG. I'm going to say this is probably in the 5.5 range is what I'm guessing. It does need a press. Like I said, there's a pretty substantial spine roll you can see on there where it curls up right on the edge. So I'll get that out with a press, no problem. So that's issue 47, and that was from July of 1945. So right about the time World War II was ending, that book was published. And then the other book is Captain Marvel number 48. So the next issue, again, same thing. Got a pretty good little spine roll. Other than that, it's really good shape, really solid book. It feels sturdy. Staples look good. Again, they're saying this is a VG book. I'm going to say same thing as the other one. It's probably a 5.5, maybe a 5.0. It looks like it's got a subscription crease, but I don't think that's a subscription crease. I think that's where some kid folded the book in half and put it in his pocket because, that's what they did back then. So, again, great deal on these books. Captain Marvel 47 and 48 from 1945. July and September because they delayed the second one. So the next 2 boxes are all CGC books. And I've been waiting on these. One was a C2E2 drop off. The bigger box was a C2E2 drop off, and this smaller box was a submission of books that I sent after I got back from C2E2. One of the books was a book I picked up at C2E2. I did pre-look at these grades, and there is a 9.9 in here, which is always cool. You know, it's always cool no matter what the book is to get and see a 9.9. They just look different. So we'll sit these down and just pull them out one at a time. Like I said, I've already checked the grades on these just because I was impatient with this one. So first book up, this is Marvel Rivals #1. This is the Peach Momoko C2E2 Trinity Comics exclusive edition. So we got a 9.8 white pages. I was expecting a 9.8 on this. It's a pretty sharp book. It's one that I thought had an outside shot at a 9.9. So that's the trade dress, the standard edition. The next book we got is this really cool Greg Horn Wolverine #1. So love this cover. Really happy to have that in a 9.8. I think that's an awesome cover. I probably should have had him sign it. He's got a great signature. See if it's on here, like the G right there. It's like a G bullseye signature. I should have had him sign it. I mean, I bought it from him, not from his booth. Like I was actually talking to him and bought it. And I didn't even think about having him sign it. So, but 9.8 on that. So the Greg Horn Wolverine 1, really great cover. I mean, that book just looks awesome. Even on camera, it looks awesome. Again, one I thought had a 9.9 chance because it's in really good shape. It did have one bindery tear on the bottom, but the top was fantastic. So not a big deal. 9.8's kind of what you're hoping for. 9.9s are always a bonus. All right, so we got the 9.9 up next. I love this cover. Again, this is a Greg Horn book. I think that's just awesome. It's Nick Cage as Ghost Rider. You know, the Greg Horn Ghost Rider. Again, I probably should have had him sign it. Didn't even think about having him sign it. There you can see that's his signature there, that big GH. And it would look awesome in the front of this and like on his body in like a yellow or a gold ink or marker. But, you know, nothing I can do about it now. So it's awesome to have a 9.9. You can see it's the C2E2 exclusive. You got the whatever it's called now, the Sears Tower in the background. So CGC 9.9, got the gold numbers. I actually don't like these numbers. Like when you look at them, I mean, it's awesome. It's a 9.9, and they do it as gold because it's mint. But like you can't see them as well as the 9.8. The 9.8 you can really see well. The 9.9 almost looks like it's dulled out and not printed properly. So again, happy with a 9.9. I think that's my third submission I've gotten a 9.9 on. And they've all been brand new, you know, straight off the press books. I've never gotten a 9.9 on something from like the 90s or the 2000s. I don't even know if they do that. So next up, as always, and you'll see multiples of these types of books, but the obligatory X-Men book. So this is X-Men 132. It's the Facsimile edition, 9.8. Again, I'm a completionist, so I have the regular 132. I had to get the Facsimile too. So 9.8 Facsimile. And it is a reprint, obviously. Got another Facsimile X-Men 9.8. This is 133. I actually have the original of this in a 9.6. So this is the first solo Wolverine story. Good book. Again, these are pretty easy to get 9.8s on. They're brand new books. They're about as good as they get. Next one up. So this is the gold edition of X-Men 307. This was only available in the Pressman board game. And I don't remember. There was one you had to mail away for, and there was two that came in the game. So I want to say this book, X-Men 304, and then one of the newer X-Men, so maybe like 14 or 11. So they were all Pressman variants. They came in the Pressman board game, the X-Men board game. But again, two of those actually were inside the box, and one of them you had to mail away for. I'm not sure which one's which. But a 9.4, and that's pretty good because these are tough. They're just real tough to get higher grades on. And you know, the standard book in this and a 9.4 would be worth like $2 or $3, where this one's, you know, probably $75 or $80, maybe $100. But again, it's one I didn't have, and I gotta have them all. So this book I was really hoping for a 9.9 just because it's awesome. But this is the Alex Ross Batman 158, the Ross sketch cover. I'm actually going to an Alex Ross event this coming Saturday. Eric from SideQuest Comics told me about it, and we're gonna go. It's at like a arboretum or something up on the northwest side of Chicago, and it's an Alex Ross like pre-exclusive event. So it should be a pretty good time. I think we get food and drinks with our tickets, like alcohol drinks. So should be a good time. Looking forward. I'll be meeting Eric for the first time, so that'll be kind of cool to meet him. I've talked to him a little bit here. So that'll be interesting and neat. And the last book in the modern submission, this is the Rivals #1, The Virgin. This one's limited to, I think, 1,500. So this is, again, a Peach Momoko Trinity Comics book. She's really hit or miss. Sometimes I think her stuff's great. Sometimes I think it's really bad. I really like this cover. I think she did a great job here. The colors are a little darker. I don't like when it's really pastel-y. And some of it's like not really defined. It's more like a muddy art, where this one's really nice and crisp. So, yeah, that's a good 9.8. Pretty happy to have that as it is. Again, hoping for a 9.9, but it is what it is. I wish they put some notes on there and tell you what is. It looks like a 9.9. All right, set those out of the way, and we'll get into the good stuff. There's some really good stuff in this next lot. There's some Superboy books that you've probably seen if you've watched my stuff. I opened a while back that I submitted. There is always some X-Men books. So we're going to have some X-Men books in this box as well, because, you know, what unboxing can you not have X-Men in? I mean, that's like sacrilegious. So we're just going to grab one at a time and see what we got. All right, first one up. I don't know the grades on these, so you're going to see them when I do. I did actually check this one. Yeah, Superman 28. So I bought this as a 2.5. I cleaned it, pressed it. It was a 2.5 when I bought it, and now it is a 6.0. So pretty substantial bump there. And white pages. You know how hard it is to get on white pages on a book from 1944? I mean, that's just unheard of. The only reason it got a 6.0 is it's got this, I don't know if it's mold or foxing or what this is here on the edge. It was a lot worse when I bought it. Beyond that, I mean, the book's in really great shape. But yeah, 6.0 white pages on a Superman 28, that's solid. That's a really solid book. Probably going to use that as trade stuff to get something better, some good X-Men stuff. Not because I don't want to keep this. I know it has some good value, and having those white pages is really tough. Next up, X-Men. That's my favorite. Number 20 in an 8.0. So pretty solid book there too. You don't see too many of these this higher grade. And again, white pages, really hard to get on a book from the 60s, especially Marvel books from the 60s. So 8.0 white pages, X-Men number 20. It's a great cover. It's got a letter from Frank Bruner in it. It's one of the notes on the label. But this will actually be, I'm working on, I was waiting to get this submission back, so I'm going to work on going through. I'm going to go through every single issue of X-Men from 1 to 544, and I'm going to show every single book. I was waiting on this to come back because this has a good chunk of books from the 20s in it that I kind of need for that video. So now that they're back, I'm going to start working on recording that video. So it's going to be broken, I think, in about 8 parts, and I'll go issue by issue all the way through. Next up, Superboy number 20. So this is Superboy 26.5. This is from 1952. Again, you don't see these books in these types of grades very often. This book has some spine damage. It's not chipping or wrinkles. There's just a couple damage spots on the spine, which is the big ding on it. But all in all, I'm happy with the 6.5. You know, this is Superboy is not a easy book to get, just because it's not collected as much as the mainstream DC stuff like Batman, Superman, Action Comics, Detective. Superboy's kind of like that fourth, fifth tier as far as the main DC stuff. It's kind of like Daredevil with the X-Men. Like Daredevil's a popular character, but he's not as popular as the Avengers or X-Men or Iron Man. So the books are a little bit easier to come by, but you don't find them in higher grades as often. Next up, Superboy 17. Again, 6.5 off-white to white pages. You can see this has got some tanning here. I did do a hop on this, but there's only so much you can do. And this was about as good as this one was going to get. It's real dark on this edge too. It's lighter than it was, but it's still pretty dark. So again, book from 1951, 6.5. I'll take that. I'm not going to complain. Oh, nope. I thought the case was damaged. I usually check these after I go through them to make sure there's no damage, because CGC only gives you a short window to go through and tell them that they got damage in shipping, so you got to check them. Next up, another X-Men book, number 21. 6.5 off white to white pages. A little bit disappointed with that grade. I thought all these X-Men books would be in the 8.0 range. I'll have to check the notes on that. It does have a little bit of tanning on the edge, but other than that, like there's no spine ticks or damage to it. And I actually thought this would have white pages too, and it's got off white to white pages. So I'll check the notes. I mean, I'm not going to crack it and resubmit it. But again, it's an X-Men book graded that I didn't have graded. I think I have 1 through 30 graded now, if I'm not mistaken. I got a 15 coming that I bought that's graded. So yeah, I think I have them all 1 through 30 graded. So pretty awesome to have that. Next up, another X-Men, number 23. Again, white pages. That's a tough one to get. The grade 7.5 is nice, but white pages is much nicer. These books, when you open them up and look at them, well, obviously you can't now, but when I went opened them up and looked at them, they just look beautiful. Like the pages really popped. So I'm actually surprised I thought this would be a 7.0. It's got a wrinkle right in the black that breaks the color. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the 7.5. I thought 7.0 was the kind of where it was going to fall, and I was thinking it may get a 6.5. 7.5 works. These are in no order either. Normally they pack them kind of in order, but they're just kind of all over the place. So X-Men 25 in a 7.0. Again, white pages. So books from the 60s with white pages, again, not easy to find. I know it sounds repetitive and redundant, but it's hard to get these books with white pages. And I can't do much about white pages. I can make a book look better. I can make it look flatter. I can press it, whatever. I can't make the pages wider. I mean, there are techniques, but they're very, very cumbersome and difficult. So I don't really do that. But happy to have that. I think I have a 6.0 now. So I'll be moving away from my 6.0 and keeping the 7.0. All right, next up, green label. So I knew this was going to have a green label, and I'm pretty confident it's no grade, and I was pretty confident it was going to have a no grade. So this is Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane number 1, and it's got a no grade, which again, I knew it would get a no grade because this is a reproduction cover. Thanks, Peter. I appreciate it. So I just wanted it slabbed. I wanted to know the color pages and all that type of stuff. Anytime you have a coverless book, it's a no grade book. And I knew that was going to be that. So I'm not surprised at all with the grade. It's really cool to have this slabbed. This is a complete Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane number 1, which is cool. That's a cool book. You don't see that very often. You definitely, this is a pretty rare book as far as DC goes. Came out in 1958. But, again, I couldn't really even do much. I can't even really press this because it's a really like glossy, plasticky paper. But, again, Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane 1, pretty awesome book to have. And, again, I knew it was a no grade, so I'm not disappointed. I knew it was going to get a green label because it has new staples added to hold that cover on. So, pretty cool still. This is a book I grade and buy every time I can, and I don't care what the grade is. Strange Tales 169, the first Brother Voodoo. So 5.5 off-white pages. It's not an exciting book by any means, but I am a specker on this book, and I have probably got 10 of these graded now from a 4.0, I think, all the way up to a 9.4. And I will continue to buy and grade this book because this book is going to help me retire one day. I'm telling you, Brother Voodoo, don't miss out on this guy. Yeah, it's not a shocking grade. It's not a great quality book. I figured it was in the fine range. So yeah, I'm not disappointed or happy with that. It's just about what I expected. All right, got another Superboy from the 50s. Excuse me. So this is Superboy number 15 in a 4.5. I knew this one was going to suffer a little bit just because of the black cover. It's so hard to get these black covers without a lot of creases. Hey, what's up, Eric? So you can see there's a lot of spine ticks. A 4.5 is pretty good on this. Off-white to white pages. I didn't expect anything crazy on this. I was kind of, they're so inconsistent with how to grade that on a black cover. Because if this was a white cover, they're still there. You just can't see them as much. So sometimes they don't hit you as hard. Sometimes they hit you harder than they should. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Again, there's a big tear on it too. You can see right by his hair. That's all torn. It's just barely hanging on. So that's a huge deduction from CGC when you have a tear that big. Luckily, it's still hanging on, and there's just a little sliver of paper. Had that been missing, it'd have been like a 2.5. I mean, they kill you on pieces missing. So, Eric, you got to watch the rewind. There's a really cool Batman Alex Ross I pulled out and a great Wolverine Greg Horn cover. And I mentioned I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think it's going to be our next weekend. I think it's going to be fun. Ugh. All right, these are way down in here. So I think we're going to have a good time. And, I kind of like Alex Ross, so that doesn't hurt either. All right. More X-Men. My favorites. X-Men 48, 8.0, off-white to white pages. I've struggled to get this book in a higher grade, so I'm really happy to have an 8.0. For whatever reason, along the spine, it always has a lot of color wear, like right in here, and it almost like looks pinkish on the edges. I don't know if it was the ink they used or the purple, but it's just everyone I ever see is faded and has like fade spots in it. So I'm really happy to have an 8.0 off-white to white pages in that. I have, I think, a 6.5 now. So, again, 6.5 will be going out. This one will be going in. And I point over here because that's where I keep all my X-Men slabs in these right next to me here. So, next book up, X-Men 50. Great early Steranko cover, 5.0. I don't remember what this one's got a bunch of stains on it. Yeah, so it's got a lot of stains. It's got some rough wear on the corners, on all four corners. So I don't remember. I usually write down what I think I'm going to get. But again, these were submitted at C2E2. So they were submitted like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I don't even know where that paper is now. So I've not had that graded before. So this is my first X-Men 50 that I've had slabbed. I did have a purple label one time, but I got rid of that pretty quickly. I'm not a big fan of having purple label books. I either remove whatever makes it a purple label. Like if it's got color touch, I'll scrape the paint off and resubmit it. But if it's like a trimmed cover or something like that, like I don't want that. I don't want a book that's been changed like that. So I kind of stay away from them. Next one up, this is a great Neil Adams cover. This is X-Men 56, 9.0. It's just a great cover. I mean, that's one of my favorite X-Men covers just because all the color. And if you don't like Neil Adams, you're crazy. I mean, he's an amazing artist. So 9.0 is pretty solid grade on that book. I thought it would be a 9.2 or a 9.4. It actually looks like it's got a little corner crunch here. This is, if you watched the video before, these are the books that they shoved in that I had a bunch of books that got dinged right in here. So this was in that same submission. So that could have been on them because that's a pressable defect. But I'm not going to crack a 9.0 of this book and resubmit it. I'm going to be happy with the 9.0. Little piece of plastic hanging off there. And again, it's an awesome Neil Adams cover. So Good stuff. First appearance of the living monolith, not like a major key or anything. Let me set these out of the way. I'm going to get a new slab box. I still got another 40 books at CGC, and I got a box of about 200 over there I need to submit, and another 70 I need to press and clean. Next up, X-Men 28. So this is the first Banshee. Banshee wasn't that popular until the X-Men cartoon came out. And the big thing on this, it's a beautiful book. The big killer on this is there's a crease right here that it doesn't. It's like a crease that you can't get out. It's like a wrinkle crease where that was folded over and dog-eared for a long time. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. You can see it there. Pretty heavy crease in the corner. If that wasn't there, I'd say this is probably a 9.2. But again, that's a 2-inch plus crease, and they hit you hard on those creases. So again, it's the first Banshee. It's a 7.5. It's a pretty solid book. I think I also have one of those now, and it's a low grade, like a 4.0. So second X-Men 26 in this batch. I think the other one was a 7.0, so this is an 8.0, even better. So I'm going to be moving on from the 7.0 and keeping the 8.0. I'll look at them. Actually, sometimes I'll keep the lower grade if it's got white pages or it presents better. But, yeah, I'm probably going to keep this one. I think it's the second appearance of LT Gray. I think 25 was his first appearance. It just says LT Gray appearance, but I think it was his second appearance. So, again, early X-Men book. None of them have off-white pages so far. That's good, too. Like, off-white, you start getting into those bad color pages. Damn, did I submit 3 of these? Maybe that was a 25. So, there's a 7.5, but white pages. So, again, when I hold both these up and look at both of these, I may keep the 7.5 just because it has white pages, but I'll look at them real good and see which one presents better. Actually, looking at them, the 7.5 is actually yellower. You can see a pretty substantial difference in color. This is the 7.5, and it's a yellower color. This one on the, I don't know, it's my left. It might be your right. I don't know. It's a whiter cover. So got a 7.5. White pages and an 8.0 off-white to white pages. So it's funny that this got white pages, but it's a yellowed cover. Off-white to white pages, but a white cover. So, yeah, and I mean, I think the 8.0 actually presents a little better, too. It's got, yeah, I don't know. I'll look at them closer and make a decision on which one I want to keep. It's maybe X-Men heavy for the rest of this, guys. So, next up, number 27. 8.5 white pages. Again, love those white pages. Can't stress that enough. White pages on 60s X-Men books is awesome. So this is the second appearance, I think, of the Mimic. I think he was in like issue 18 maybe or 16. I don't know. He made an appearance in the teens. So he actually joins the X-Men in this, and he can mimic their powers. But he was only on the team for, I think, this book. Then he quit. What a quitter, because Banshee came along next book. All right, next up, X-Men 33. I can tell you already I'm disappointed with this grade, 6.5. I mean, my goal is to have these over 6.0, from like 20 to like the high 60s, high 70s. I'm looking for 6.0 or better. And then as it gets higher in grade, I want higher in issue. I want higher grades. I just surprised I submitted this with everything else at a 6.5. I'll look at the notes. I don't know why this is a 6.5. It looks really nice. Well, it does have a white corner there, so that could be part of it. I don't know. I'm not disappointed. I don't have this book graded, so having a graded X-Men 33 in my collection is a win. I'm greedy, though. I want them all to be 9.8s. Yeah. And then last book up, I love these covers, these origin covers. So this is X-Men 42 in an 8.0. I have a really nice copy of this that's not graded, but it's got a bunch of color touch on the edge, like marker color touch that you can't really get rid of. It actually looks better than this, but it'd be a purple label. This is a tough one to get in higher grades too because of the black cover. You get a lot of spine ticks. This book actually, it looks really good, presents really good. It just fades a little bit. You can't see it probably in the camera, but it fades here. It's like tanned up and a little darker on the edge. Other than that, it's really nice. It's got like a little stain down here I couldn't get out either. So that's it, guys. A lot of books. I really, like I said, I've been waiting forever for these ones from C2E2. I have this modern submission was submitted like 3 or 4 weeks after my C2E2 submission, and they came back within a day of each other. But I have another vintage submission that I submitted with these 19 books that are vintage. That's 25 vintage books also submitted at C2E2 that are still just scheduled for grading. They're not even in GEI yet. So who knows when I'm going to get them back. I got a really cool magazine there too, a Beware. I think it's a Beware magazine. So again, Sunday I'll be cleaning. I'll probably work on those two Captain Marvels we started with. And I got, like I said, I got a stack of stuff over there. I just sent some stuff back to JSS Brooklyn that he had me clean and press for him. And then he's going to send some more. So if I have those, I'll be cleaning those on screen too. But yeah, check it out. I did get nominated for the for something in the comic awards, so the community awards. So whoever nominated me, I do appreciate that. It's nice to be recognized, even if it's if you're just doing it to be nice. I do appreciate that. Check that out. Make sure Brian LCS. Make sure to search for him on YouTube. They're doing community chores, comic community awards. I don't know why I keep wanting to say community choice awards, but the comic community awards. And you can nominate your favorite YouTubers that do comic content. There's a ton of categories. So I'm not saying nominate me, but nominate your favorite people, give them credit, recognize what they do. A lot of people put a lot of work into some of these videos. I'll be honest, I don't put a lot of work in this. I just kind of show you what I got, what I'm doing. When I'm cleaning books, I talk about what I'm doing, but I would be doing that anyways. I just wouldn't be talking to myself. I'm talking to you guys when I do it. So it's fun to share the information and the knowledge. I love comic books. It's like my life is kids, wife, comic books. That's kind of how I rate everything in life. So they make me feel 12 years old again. They take me back to my childhood. The older I get, the more I appreciate and love them. Just check it out, guys. It's go get what you love, buy the comics you want. And I just realized, Adam, I called you Eric. I don't know why I did that. For some reason I thought you were Eric. Even though it says Up and Adam and your name is Adam, I realize you are not Eric from SideQuest Comics. It's just my life has been crazy. A lot of stuff has happened to work. I'm not allowed to talk about any of it. I wish I could, because it's very amusing. But I'm not really allowed to talk about those things because they're confidential. But it's been a crazy 2-3 weeks at work. I can just say there was one day at work I had to file 3 separate police reports for 3 separate things. So yeah, it gets a little hectic sometimes where I work in my job, being in the South Side of Chicago. So I apologize, Adam and Eric, for confusing the two of you. But yeah, keep collecting, guys. Keep buying the stuff you love. Listen to my dog bark because he likes to bark. And we'll see you guys next time. Check it out Sunday, cleaning comic books. And don't forget, if you come back and they're watching this rewind, leave a comment. Be entered for an Incredible Hulk 181. See you guys later.
A hero rises in the night's embrace, with shadows dancing on a masked face. Pages turn where legends collide. In this world we take a wild ride. launch out a metal screen. Cave shadows chase a fleeting dream. Webs entangle up in the air. Heroes heed the call when danger's there. Johnny's comic stuff, take the stage. Bright and bold from panel to page. X-Men battle in the stormy tide. Batman glides through the moonlit sky. Through tangled webs and hearts made of gold, stories unravel and truths are told. Villains rise, but they always fall. Heroes stand strong, they answer the call. Spandex suits and a will of steel. A world of fiction you can almost feel. Stories that shape a hero's life, burning bright in the darkest fight. Johnny's comic stuff, take the stage. Bright and bold from panel to page. X-Men battle in the stormy tide. Batman glides through the moonlit sky.